You're the evil villain, and that's okay. I know I'm a little late on this evil villain topic trend, but this isn't about a trend for me. This topic hits me on a very deep soul level. This is an experience that I've gained a lot of wisdom on over the years, and I believe this is something very crucial that you guys need to understand. In this video, I'll be sharing with you 3 powerful perspectives that will completely shift the way you view this villain role. By the end of this video, you'll be feeling completely empowered and comfortable stepping into this role, because it's time, my friend, that you step into your villain era. First things first, people's perceptions of you are only a reflection of their own personal bias and limitations. People's judgments of you is only giving you intel on what's going on within themselves. When somebody gets mad at you and they label you as evil or bad, this is only showing you their own personal fears of the unknown and their insecurities, and has little to do with your actual behavior. When people judge you, they're only projecting their self-imposed limitations on you. When they don't understand your choices, your lifestyle, your behavior, they just label you as wrong. And I'm gonna say this, once somebody decides that they don't like you and they don't mess with you, there's nothing you can do to change their mind, because they've already decided that something is wrong with you and that you're a bad person. You could be the coolest, realest, sweetest person. That doesn't matter, because no matter what you do, they're always going to see you as bad. You're always doing something wrong, even if you're not actually doing something wrong. And this message is for people who struggle with accepting the fact that not everybody's going to like you and you're a people pleaser. Let me tell you this, not everybody's going to like you, and that's because nobody understands you the way you understand you. Not everybody has the same experiences as you. Therefore, not everybody will understand why you do the things that you do, why you think the way you do, why you move the way you do. Not everybody's going to like you, and you have to accept that fact and not arrange yourself to make people like you. It's either they do or they don't. You're trying to control something that you don't have any control over. You can't make somebody do something that they don't want to do. And this goes back to a reel that I made on my channel where I was talking about 50% of life is in your control and the rest is up to the universe. You can only show up as your best self and do the best that you can, but the rest, that's just really on the universe and if things align divinely. So you can only show up as your best self and do your best and be the best person that you can be. And if somebody still doesn't like you, then it is what it is. Like you've done your part. People are funny because people won't like you for petty shit. Like you could like the color red and they like the color blue, and that's a problem for them. Somebody could label you as bad or not like you because you speak your truth, or you don't want to conform to what they got going on, and it's not you. This is only showing you their own discomfort with authenticity. And it all comes down to human nature. People are very tribal creatures. So when people like you or myself who live very differently from others come along, we challenge the societal rules. We don't live by societal rules or the rules of the space that we're in. And a lot of the times this is very unintentional because we just don't live like that. We're very different. We're unique. So this is when the people who are conforming, this is when they outcast you from the group. You live in alignment with your true self, and that's very triggering for people who are incapable of pushing past their own limitations within themselves. So release the need for external validation. Validate your own self. And this leads me into my next point. You're unique and you defy the rules. And this triggers people who fear authenticity. You're not afraid to break the rules and live in your purpose. And this is very bothersome for people who are afraid of living in their truth, and they're afraid of power. There's a lot of people who still get stuck in conformity. They just live a fake life. They're very fake people. You know, they don't know how to be honest with themselves and others around them. When a person like you or myself comes along, you're triggering to that person because they're like, what the hell is up with this person? It even comes from a place of jealousy because they wish that they could move the way that we move, and they're too fearful to do that. People are jealous of your light and how powerful you radiate. This is where the idea of NPCs and the main character comes from. You're the main character, I'm the main character, and there are a lot of people out here who are NPCs. Like, they just play it small. They're just jealous of the fact that your energy radiates so bright and you're so influential. When they see people like you exist, they're mad at the fact that they can't do what you do. They're mad at the fact that they're unable to break free from conformity and disappoint others or have others not like them. You know, they're too caught up in that external validation. You know, they're a slave to other people's ideas of them, their opinions and things. They wish they had the courage to live authentically and live in alignment to their purpose. You have star power and you defy the rules. The rules that apply to somebody else, they don't apply to you. For people who play it small, they're NPCs, they just conform, that bothers them. They're still enslaved in their mind to societal expectations, and they're mad because they can't liberate themselves from that. They're mad because you're liberated and you just do whatever it is that you want to do. People's fear of breaking the mold and living authentically will manifest in judgment towards others who do. People fear change. People do not like change. So they envy or they're jealous of somebody who isn't afraid to make the necessary changes to live authentically and live in their purpose. You're somebody that just doesn't fit in. For somebody that is afraid to break the mold, that really scares them and that bothers them to see somebody like you or myself live that way, because this is very triggering for them. This is very challenging for them. You challenge them. You challenge them to question their own comfort zone and their own relationship with power and why they're afraid of it. With that being said, you're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to enjoy and honor your true self. This last point here, you guys are going to love this one. So you know how there are agents of chaos? Well, you, my friend, you are an agent of the universe. You're here to enforce universal law and awaken dormant potential in others. And this pretty much sums up where the villain persona comes from. This comes from the fact that you're a catalyst for change in yourself and others. People who are unwilling to face their own issues, they resent you for showing them the truth that they're not ready to accept. After I completed my initiation last year with this villain role, after a relative's partner called me toxic, that is when I knew that I officially stepped in transformation goddess mode. And you could look back on your situations that you've experienced where people have called you a bad person, or even if they didn't call it to your face, they just treated you like you're a bad person. You could now crown yourself as a transformation god or goddess yourself, because you just hold up that mirror to people. And a lot of people don't like what they see. And a lot of the times you're doing this very unintentionally. Like the incident that I had last year, I did it unintentionally. This is what God sent me to do because I'm an agent of the universe. You're here to help people face their shadow, okay? You're here to help people integrate with their shadow and accept that they have one. A lot of people in this society, they like to ignore the fact that they have a shadow side. They like to live on the extreme of the light side and they ignore the shadow side. You, my friend, are somebody that acknowledges both, and you know how to integrate both. You know how to do alchemy. I have noticed after interactions with people that they often change, whether in small or profound ways. And if you're watching this, you have noticed this too. This is what God sent you here to do. You're here to be the awakener, to help awaken people to their fullest potential, and also help people liberate themselves out of stagnated or even toxic situations. A lot of people love to stay in toxic situations because they are afraid of change. Because they're afraid of change, this is what keeps them stuck until a person like you or myself comes along and helps them realize, like, you don't got to be stuck. And at this point, you're just choosing to be in a low vibrational state. Okay? When you could be living like me, liberated, empowered. Okay, you have to understand, a lot of people, they don't like to accept the truth of who they are. They don't like to accept the truth of certain circumstances that are unhealthy and toxic for themselves. They have low self-worth and self-value to where they feel like they're deserving of that low vibrational situation. Oddly enough, they get mad at you when you trigger or awaken something within themselves that helps them realize, like, I deserve better. But they don't want to accept that truth. They don't want to accept, like, damn, this situation is not good and I'm going to have to change this, because oftentimes this means like this person will have to make a big life change, and that is very scary for people. A lot of people are afraid to succeed. A lot of people are afraid to level up. You embody what it means to live boldly, to not be afraid to let things go and release things that are not serving you. Okay, so you could elevate. You're not afraid to elevate. People who are afraid to elevate themselves and level up, it's like how people are afraid of heights. You know, this is a very powerful position. This is a very powerful gift. This is your cosmic gift, to be an agent of transformation. You're only reflecting things to them that they're avoiding. So don't take it personal. You're only showing them things that they feel that they're incapable of changing, or they feel that they're incapable of having, and that has nothing to do with you. That has more so to do with them. So this will help you not get in your feelings when people treat you like you're a bad person, or even call you a bad person outright, because you know the truth. And this is what it means to walk hand in hand with God. Okay, when you're walking hand in hand with God and you know your purpose, you know who you are, you know your truth, this stuff doesn't bother you anymore. You know the truth of what it really is, and you understand people's psychology. It's very important as an evil villain to understand people's psychology. And it's very important as an evil villain to not care. Stop caring so much. My favorite evil villain movie is The Joker, because he is the epitome of what it means to just not give a fuck and just live freely and just live completely in your purpose. Like, just stop caring if people are gonna look at you like the bad guy. And oftentimes you're being called the bad guy for things that aren't even bad. This is just part of life. This is nature. We are all part of nature. The universe has certain laws. Energy is always in motion is one of the universe's biggest law. So when people are stuck and stagnated and they're resisting change, this is when the universe is going to whip their ass. Like, quite literally, this is when they're going to get punished by the universe, because you're not respecting the universal law of energy is always in motion. Everything is supposed to be constant flow. You being the agent of the universe, you understand this. When people encounter you and there's somebody that resists change, they almost get mad at you. And it's like, you're reminding them that this is just our natural state of being. We're always supposed to be in motion. We're always supposed to be in flow. We're always supposed to be shifting and changing. So all in all, you're here to trigger transformation and awaken people, even if they're not ready to. But I guarantee you, when you're absent from their life, they're going to feel it and they're going to remember you for it. They're going to remember the impact and the influence that you had in their life, and they're going to be thankful for it, even if they don't tell you. With all this being said, is the evil villain actually a villain or actually a hero? I'm going to tell you my opinion. My opinion is both is true, okay? And it really just depends on the person's perspective. And this takes us back to point one. It doesn't even matter anyways, because like I said, as long as you're in tune with your higher purpose and you're connected to God, you're in tune with God, none of it even matters whether you're a villain or you're not a villain. It doesn't matter. Embrace being the evil villain. It is what it is. The villain is the misunderstood hero. And being the villain is a form of empowerment. You're living in your truth and you're triggering growth in others. And you're here to bring change in the world. As I wrap up this video, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Power is not to be feared, but embraced. So you're the evil villain. So be it.